Hello, greetings, and welcome to the Galactic Seabass Podcast, number 108, with your host, Sebastian Fowler, aka me, Seabass, aka James Blonde, aka this guy. What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 108. Welcome to the podcast. And my name is Sebastian. Thank you for here today on the Galactic Seabass channel. And quite a fan. See my pen, mi boligrafo es on the floro. We have a cool little episode for you today. Today is Thursday, November 13th. Not quite Friday the 13th. We got a Thursday this time around. And we're in San Diego, California. It's about 7:30 p.m. here. About 10:30 on the East Coast. Probably about 4 in the morning somewhere European region. Anyway, what's going on, guys? It's good to be here. And I am grateful to be on camera with you today. This is episode 108 of the Galactic Seabass Podcast here on the Galactic Seabass channel. Thank you again for your support, for being here. I really appreciate you. God bless you. Rock and roll. Those of you that don't know me, my name is Sebastian. I rode a BMX bicycle from San Diego, California to New York City in 80 days. You can check out those videos on BMX across America. Let's see what else is going on. I recently lectured on Kill Tony on Netflix. You can go ahead and check that out by going on Netflix and watching episode 1 or Kill or Be Killed of Kill Tony. Check that out. We'll be doing stand-up comedy potentially in December at the Improv in Los Angeles. So please be there for that show. More date information coming soon. Big shout out to Jason Rouse. And also, this mic is not plugged in. This is but it's good to be here today, and I'm very grateful to have you. So thanks for tuning in. If you would like to support the podcast, please go ahead and click the YouTube buttons. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to help support financially, there's some information in the description there. So please check that out. That would be lovely. Let's go ahead and tune to the live chat today. I've got 97 tabs open. But we're going to go ahead and see if we can make this thing work. I recently saw some commercial TV that were showcasing that the internet provider I use has better rate for new customers. And I thought, well, can I get that rate? I've been with you guys for a long time now. And so they have a better rate and a faster speed. So in theory, this episode will be less glitchy. I'm excited to see if that's actually the case. If you guys could let me know that in that section, the comment section in the live stream, that'd be sweet. Go ahead and keep it friendly. That's what it says. Welcome to live chat. Please regard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate you so much. Rock and roll, thanks for being here. I love Israel. $7,000, please. Thank you. Anyway, what's going on? I would very much like to thank you for being here today. It's good to be here. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to still have a home above my head. It's so freaking hard to be able to, just pass the purpose of being able to survive. So I found out you can overcharge your bank account $500, and the rent's paid, but I'm broke. So if you want to help support, that means a lot. If not, no worries, not too bad. It's good to be here, and we ended up working pretty hard today doing a gig hustle, so I got some cash to be able to pay for gas, which should be able to get me through to work and pay off that money. And tomorrow I have a job interview, and I'm really excited about it. Big shouts out to Zach. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Information on that next week. I don't want to jump the gun on anything. So, shit. And with that being said, yeah, things kind of look like they might be turning around. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I don't know what's on the horizon, but trying. Doing our best. We'll be hanging in there till the end of time. And maybe my thing's glitchy just because my phone's old. I don't really know. Anyway, you guys are grateful that you're here today. No one's actually watching this video, but maybe in the future people will watch it. So that's all we can hope for, baby. Rock and roll. You know what? Cheers. Thanks for being you. Episode 108. 108. That's crazy, dude. That's nuts. That means, what's 25 plus 2? 27? 27 times 4? Boom. 108. Pretty sure that's correct. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Bye. Cheers. God bless you. God bless America. rock and roll. We went to church this week. It was lovely. Liked it. And what's cool about this new job is if I can, I had a Zoom interview today with 30 other people. I've never done that before. They ended up giving me a chance to come live, in person, live. Go do a real interview with a real human and try to show off my stuff and show them that I'm capable. And, I rode a bicycle from here to New York, so if you give me a task, I will get it done. Because that was a damn near impossible one, and by golly, we found a way to the finish line. So, thanks for your support on that, by the way. I really appreciate everybody checking out the videos. It doesn't have a lot of views, so if you want to watch the BMX Across America videos, that really would mean a lot. Just look up BMX on YouTube. Should pop up. Appreciate you very much. And, man, that was crazy. That was a crazy journey. I was talking about the thing to my buddy for a little bit just before I started this, and shouts out to Ate. It was pretty nuts, man. The fact that I rode a bicycle over 3,000 miles. And, when I rode to Kiltony, I got on, debatably the biggest show in the world. Oh, excuse me, for a bigger burp after that sentence. Anyway, but we got on the biggest show in the world, debatably. And, wow, what an amazing opportunity. I forgot to plug what I was doing, which is amazing. That's how drunk I was on that show. I would love to go back and try again sober and the whole thing. It would have been great to be like, yeah, I'm going to New York. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're having a show at Madison Square Garden. That would have been convenient. But that didn't happen. So here's the thing. I did go on. I could do in that moment. And everything happens for a reason. I shook hands with Joe Rogan and Tom Segura and Shane Gillis. What an incredible moment in my life. Just like, wow. Not only that, but millions of people got to see it on Netflix. It was the #1 show on Netflix for a little bit. That's crazy. And I'm blessed. So it was just hard to feel the fruits of that labor, because I got on the show and I had to work so hard to get from San Diego to Austin, Texas. That was 35 days on the highway, grueling days where you didn't know if you were going to make it to the end. You might run out of water. West Texas was unbelievable. It was insane. You got 40 miles in between gas stations, and I'm on a BMX bike, dude. It takes a long time to go 40 miles. So if you run out of water, if you run out of food, if you get a flat tire with no tubes, you're fucked, dude. There's no one coming to save you. I didn't have some support system that was ready to save the day. I was on my own. And it was hard. That was terrifying, but I got through it. And so, on Kiltony, excited. They're like, wow, you got on this big show. It's so sick. Are you coming home? And I thought, man, that'd be great. Just fly home right now, call it, enjoy that fruit while it's still hot. I made this goal to myself where I was like, I'm going to the East Coast. I'm going to New York City. And I made it to New York City. Like, I did it. But it took 45 more days of being on the highway and being on a bicycle. So, anybody that wants to come talk shit to me, bro, go ride a bike on the highway for 5 minutes, and then you can say whatever you want. But until then, I truly don't give a fuck, because you have no idea what it took to get through that experience. And I'm blessed to be alive, truly. Here's the thing. I have been sort of bitter about certain aspects of it, whether the fact it was like I didn't get enough recognition or blades weren't there. Here's the thing. When I finished, nobody was at the finish line. My friend Tony took the last 15 miles with me over, so he was there with me, technically. But anybody waiting was like, yeah, dude, woo! I saw a news crew, and I tried to tell them, like, hey, I'm a bike rider, just got here from California. Would you like to interview me? And they were like, no. I just walked away, and I'm like, oh, that's extremely disappointing. I got home. No one picked me up from the airport. I had to get an Uber. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I did get a ride. Honestly, I don't remember. If someone gets a ride and you're watching this, I'm so sorry. But like, my brain was torn after that. I had to buy my own plane ticket home. I had no money when I got broke, and no sponsors came out to be like, "Hey, we really like your bike ride. Would you want to ride bikes for us?" That never happened. kids, not one bike company, not BMX company was like, hey, would you like a bicycle to give to a kid? Not one fucking company, man. BMX is amazing. The industry is such shit. It's just the shittiest thing. It's if you think about the world of bicycles, you ever seen Shark Tale, where he goes, there's the sharks, and then the whales, and then way down at the bottom there's whale poop, and then there's you. Like we're after the whale poop of bikes. Like unicycles get more love than BMX. If Cannondale wants to make 200,000 road bikes by this fall, or what month is it? By next spring, they could do that. They could place an order, have it ready. But all the BMX companies are doing much smaller orders, in like the single thousands or even the hundreds. And so these companies, they require you to put an 18-month investment into your line. So if you're coming out with a 2025 summer line, that has to be in the books by fall 2023. And that's crazy. That's why no one in BMX makes any money. Because a lot of these owners are, and I don't want to say owners, because I don't really let me just backtrack one sec. A lot of people in the industry that run the business side of things are very self-centered, and there's no collaboration between these companies to create something beautiful and cool and that showcase all of our different skill sets and highlight how wonderful BMX is. Because skateboarding has all kinds of stuff. They've got Street League, they've got the Hellbomb Halloween thing every year. They've got that crazy thing with the big volcano they just set up. Some dude had a sword. That's awesome. That makes skateboarding look cool. That's what gets kids into skateboarding. The company's money so they can pay their skaters to live an adequate age so they can continue to do what they love. And BMX, there's 12 guys making money because no one's working together on stuff. Oh, this is mine, you can't have what's mine, this guy's mine, I'm going to put a monster helmet on him so you can't have him. And it's like, okay, well, can you guys come together? We have like 2 or 3 companies trying to make cool stuff happen. Dams go down, have organized events. There was something really cool that just happened over, I actually don't know where in the world it was, but it was like an open loop / box jump, double-sided open loop where you could go either way. There's people watching. Like, that looks sick. People love Nitro Circus. People love X Games. Show them how it's cool. Stop being dicks and being selfish and keeping the whole industry for yourself. I've been riding BMX bikes semi-professionally for a decade now, since I moved to California. I'm a very talented bike rider. I'm very proud of my skill set. I have never been offered a check to ride a bike. I have never been offered an opportunity somewhere to ride bikes with people. I've been deliberately called to my face saying that won't happen. And I'm talking about Ryan Scher. Fuck that guy. 100%. Send this video to him. He's a piece of shit. And honestly, a lot of the Sebastian got me down too. Just a bunch of fucking cokehead losers. Shouts out to Simone because he's real as fuck, but the rest of them are honestly bogus. But it's like, they say don't know. That really depends on like who you make your hero. Because I looked up to a lot of these guys. All the dudes I just mentioned. Growing up on YouTube, I thought they were so cool. I loved the Shadow Conspiracy and Sabrosa and Alistair Whitten was a rider. And then I just get shit on. Like completely regarded, told stop following us, you're not a part of the team. Meanwhile, the day before I gave 4 of your guys a ride from downtown Vegas after they all got to fuck random chicks and I almost got arrested. So great, thank you so much for the love and appreciation. Honestly, super bogus, super gay, and I don't fuck with Sabrina, never will ever again, don't care. I hear Ronnie Bonner's a great guy. And that's the thing, like that's just one company. Then you got like the whole inner lineage of like who's running the media. You got Adam 22, fucking pervert cuck who lets his wife get fucked by random dudes. Loser. That guy offered me cocaine one time. I turned him down, and he I was like, okay, cool. Well, you're gay. Apparently, people can fuck your wife. I could probably fuck his wife if I just get a little bit of money. Maybe make like a rap album. Insane. Why would you let people do that? Anyway, moving on. Then you got our BMX, which Transworld crew, but Transworld got bailed out on by some fucking rich ass little kid who inherited his dad's company, and then he eliminated BMX, he eliminated snowboarding, he eliminated skateboarding. This kid's fucking stupid. He just made it all about golf. Transworld was amazing. I have a whole bunch of old ride BMXs that I grew up looking at it, and I loved magazines, and I thought the sport and the culture was so cool. And then I get out here, and I just have people shit on me for a long time. To the point, like, even when I started my trip, I moved to Woodward. I'd moved to the summer camp to work for the summer, and my dream was to move to San Diego after, because that was where Deadline was being premiered, and that's where all the guys, I didn't know any of them, but I was like, that's where the Deadline dudes are. And I don't know, I just thought it was really cool. So I'm at Woodward and telling all these other people, like, yeah, I'm going to move to San Diego. I have no plan, but it should be cool. They're all like, this guy's retarded. What the hell is wrong? Is he stupid? And then that was 12 years ago. So fuck all the haters there too. Excuse me, my friend Todd Main, who's a writer for Nitro Circus, he told me that specifically. He said there were a lot of guys that summer who thought you were like full of shit. You were just this, kind of yokel, whatever. I don't think he ever used the word yokel, but at the same time, the point gets across. Just like people didn't believe in me and they doubted me, and I got it done. Same thing with BMX Across America. I got it done. And I doubt myself a lot. It's just the insecurities of the way other people have viewed my visions, like into my own kind of parameter. Because I'm a very idealistic guy. I love going for the gold. I love believing that something is on the horizon. For years, I've faced adversity and struggle, but I continue to believe that something bigger was on the horizon. And you just have to keep hanging in there. And you never know what you might see around the corner, because so many things have happened in my life where I never would have thought that would have been a possibility. And yet here we are. I've lived in this house for 8 years, which is it's actually 8+ years. I've ever lived anywhere in a single place, anywhere at any point in life. 0 to 3, I was in a house with my mom and my dad. Then they got divorced, and I lived with my dad and my grandmother until I was 11. That's 8 years. That was my max for a long time. 11 to 14, Bethel, Connecticut, dies. 14, moved to Utah, move into this house with a family that owned the bike shop locally so I could finish 9th grade. Moved to Utah. In Utah, moved again. Then you moved to Wyoming, moved a couple times in Wyoming, and then moved to South Dakota. So I'm 19 in South Dakota working for this custom framing company, getting paid $8 an hour when I was promised 16. I'm saving money, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I want to be in California. So I drove here with no plan after Woodward, followed my roommates, head back to San Diego, and I'm still here. It's crazy. I'm grateful. So, everything happens for a reason, and I've been struggling hard these last few weeks, these last few months. Ever since I have been late on the rent every single month. Every single month without fail, I got in a 3-day pay or quit notice. And in the last 3 months, I paid that in the last hour. Even this time, it's not really paid. It's technically paid, but my bank is like negative $600. So I have to make $600 to have no money. And that's really fucking hard. So I don't really know how to do that. We're going to get it done because I'm a believer. I'm a believer if I try. Anyway, so you gotta believe. You gotta really just hang in there and keep going, because you never know what might come out of the situation. We got a good session. Today I actually went for a bike ride to the cliffs because it's supposed to rain here in San Diego for the next 2 weeks. And the thing about rain in Southern California is really funny because it's very equivalent to black ice on the East Coast. One, in the sense that drivers are stupid and they crash all the time from the simplest situations that you could easily avoid. But 2, the oil deposits that get built up in California throughout the whole year end up rising on the first rainfall. So when the first sprinkles kind of come down, the road literally, and you can hydroplane doing 40, which is crazy. So, as an Uber driver, I've done over 7,500 successful rides. I've driven in the night during rainstorms, and that's the thing though. In Utah and Wyoming and South Dakota, like I know what snow looks like. I grew up in Connecticut. I'm not just perplexed by this wetness on the earth. It's like, yeah, it's rain. Slow down a little bit. Tap your brakes. Don't drive super crazy, and don't make any aggressive turns. It's super simple. And so tomorrow morning on our way to this job interview, we're gonna have to survive San Diego drivers, and see how that goes. So wish me luck, guys. I got a job interview. I'm really excited about it. By golly, gee willikers. It's good to be here. Appreciate you. And if I'm into the live chat, it is available. No one said anything yet, but I am here. Aha. Takes like a good 10 seconds to something. I could just talk. All right, so we've gotten into a lot today already. We're going to go ahead and get started. What's going on? I wrote down a whole bunch of stuff, and I guess we're going to go ahead and just get into it. A lot of this might get kind of squirrely, so hang in there. Hang on to your hats. You know what? Maybe before we do that, I had a couple of links earlier I kind of wanted to check out. One thing I want to put up is there was a jam at Claremont Skate Park where a whole bunch of the pro dudes went ahead and blah 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 blah. How am I supposed to find this? Oh, geez, I'm doing this all wrong. So basically, a whole bunch of the best dudes in the world showed up. They remade Claremont, which is again the Krause family YMCA skate park in Claremont, San Diego, California, and wait, what the heck? I don't know what's going on there. So basically, we got. Dude, I completely forgot what I was talking about. Gary Young is the manager of Claremont, and that's kind of cool because Gary Young is one of the greatest BMX riders of all time. Legend. When I was a little kid in Ride BMX, I got a free copy of Red Bull Mean Streets 2, and it had Team San Diego, which was Dennis Anderson, Gary Young, and Morgan Wade, who is famously from Texas. So that's what I thought was just funny. But it was such a good section. We were talking to Gary about it, and he was saying back in the day, like, they wanted someone else to come and ride. Chad Kagi did a podcast? Oh, sick. So they wanted someone else to come and ride for the... Hey, the rain's starting. And they couldn't get it done, so Gary was like, you should get this guy Dennis, because he was like 17 at the time. And he's like, I'm telling you, man, this dude's cool. And look what kind of turned into, you know. So we're going to go ahead and watch a section. This is a very limited budget pod, so I'll just turn the laptop around and kind of watch it with you, because I can't afford to do the fancy editing and stuff. We can do this. Alright, we're gonna watch this together. I have to mute my podcast and we'll be good. Otherwise it'll be all squirrely. Whoa. That's so trippy. Podcastception. Anyway, let's do this thing. I believe this is a 25 years of Claremont Skate Park. Also, I have a... You know what? It is right there. It'd be really easy. easy for me to grab this right now. When I was a kid, I used to watch this video all the time. I have a lot of random BMX memorabilia that I don't really touch too often, but this is the Golden Ticket Tour. Here's all the riders on the bottom. Wow, let's see, we got you got Josh Harrington and Catfish and Biz and Alan Cook. You got Adam Banton and I don't remember that dude's. I'm so sorry. Is that Sean Mack? I don't know. Rob Weiss, Mike Kranz. Anyway, they do a tour of the Southwest American BMX parks, and Claremont was one of them. So I'm gonna be footage and this and that, but that's like my first taste of Claremont was in Connecticut watching this video. So, excuse me. Fun fact about BMX. I think I just broke the DVD case. It's 20 years old. That sucks. A lot of weight on here. I really gotta reorganize my stuff. All right. Anyway, 25 years of Claremont. Super expensive budget podcast. Let's go. 30 years. Let's go. Ooh. Big shout out to oh my gosh. Wait, no, before I leave shouts out to Jason Watts. I don't know why that was escaping me, but his team did a bunch of this work. So we got KP over here. What you got, bud? KP with a truck to quick 180, half cab, something. Big ol' whip. G-turn. Wow, G-turn's been going down there for a long time. KP calls me Scrunchies, by the way. That's my nickname with that fella. Ooh, a little can tire grab. Very beautiful trick. Classic manual. 540 into a transition is very intimidating. A little nose tap 3. Might have been switch. Here's the only, I guess yeah. Fly out. Ooh! Fly out flare switch downy. That was a really cool 360. That little kind of skirt 270. I'm gonna learn that. Ooh! Little 270 uninvert. Like a little Superman CD. Little flip transfer. Nice job, KP. Harris holding it down for the lace. Yeah, little one-handed tape skis. T-bog skis. Skis. Suicide skis. Sound cool ski company. Big old tabletops. Ooh, that's a fat gap. That chick shreds, bro. Larry Edgar, this dude goes hard. Larry, watch this dude blow his knee up at fucking BMX Day this year. Looks like he's doing good. Shouts out, that's the biggest 273 ever. Except for that one. Cole Volker getting some love. The son of Dave Volker, local legend, birthed another local legend. No way. Wow. Foot jam manual to 180 full cab? You crazy, dude. Love that mid-school footage. Blake Peters. Classic Blake. Jesse Tanat. I do not know this fella, but nice job. Sick old table. This dude's crazy. Connor's nuts. That was definitely a 7-bar. Like 7 years old, so that's crazy. Yo, Bronson! Yo! Hey, he made it out to San Diego. That's my dude. Rocking that mouthpiece. That's my boy. He had a doozy of a day at the Cranch Skate Park in Vegas. Dennis Anderson. Fat old whip, yeah. Definitely. Ooh, that's my biggest fear with fast plants all the time. This thing is really heavy. What you got, D-boy? Wee-hoo! Yeah, hell yeah, that's sick, dude. That's my kind of move right there. To a flip whip, that's exactly what I do when I run. Yeah, dude. Fans, let's go, baby. Gary! Added his signature frame all the way across America. Yeah, buddy. 1 foot of switch tapes. Oh! Wow. Fat tire slide. This dude is also the manager of the skate park. Big old fat little Gapskis. That might have been a switch table at the beginning, too. Yeah. Alley-oop. Turn, something. Alley-oop, look back. Yep. Fat tapes in between the boys. During construction, too, there was a fat open hole in the bottom there. That was crazy. That's probably still Gary. 20 years. He's been holding it down for over years, dude. Jason Watts. This man is the best decader in the game. Wow. Big old pocket air. Wow. That might have been a backseat grab. Yeah, it sure was. 270 back Jason. Nice job, buddy. Wow, there you go. 3 tuck to G-turn. Crazy. Or 3 tuck to half cab. That angle didn't really do his tuck justice. He's so fast with him. Seemed to like tuck to whip. Like, that dude's crazy. I'm pretty sure that was tuck to nose pick. Wow. Wait, what? That was a decade manual 180. No way. Peg slide to. Wow. Woohoo! That looks fun. How do you do that? That's so cool. I've been riding bikes my whole life. I have no idea how he's doing that. Wow. So picturesque, dude. This ride's different. Whoa. Ice nose on the scariest deck of all time. There's probably scarier decks. Pedaling. Ooh, fat wall ride. Not even. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh. Big. The biggest T-bog ever. Josh, what you got, buddy? Probably something nuts. Flip. Flip out. Okay. It's a manual. A manual to flat on like a 10-foot drop. How did he just absorb that impact? Big ol' half cab, dude. Yoink. Those are... Wow, Josh, you're crazy. You're nuts. Nice job. Wow. Yeah, exactly what Cole said. Wow. The dude makes it look so easy. That's such a difficult maneuver. And he's going in goofy. He has to spin to his inside, like his inner foot, his front foot. Let's go ahead and read that real quick. I missed the little thank you section right there. Thank you, the YMCA Park, for the last 28 years of fun. Gary for his hard work to make this new section possible. Jason Watts, Universal Ramps, Ron Kimmler, Matt Cordova, and Jesse Tanat for their building skills. Info on the park is in the description if you want to go enjoy it for yourself. Shouts out to all the dudes at Claremont. Thanks for letting me ride there over the years. Fun fact, the only time I ever got injured to the point on my bike, no, actually that's not true. One time I got injured trying to do an ice pick at the old on that yellow rail, and I missed the top of the rail and then went into the post in like, you know, there's 3 posts that hold it up. So I just locked in and went whoop and flew down. And I remember I woke up in the hospital and the doctor was like, "You might need surgery." And I don't remember anything else. I had a sling and I didn't know where I was. They sent me home, and when I got back to my buddy's house in Poway, a bill for $52,000. I was 20 years old at the time. This was like a year into San Diego, and I hurt myself bad. I had a concussion. I was messed up. My shoulder's gone, and I just had this old insurance policy, and I signed the paperwork with the insurance, sent it in, and I never got their bill ever again. So God is good, but I got fucked up at the YMCA. And the only person who saw me fall died. Like, rest in peace, Jake Monroe. But he saw that. He's the only guy who was... I had a bunch of friends on the deck. They were all looking somewhere else. And the only guy who witnessed it, he passed away a couple years ago. So, rest in peace. That is crazy, man. What a cool little video. Hopefully we don't get copyright stricken with the song. I think I was talking a lot through that. So, hopefully it's enough to cover our bases on that one. We still haven't gotten into any of my notes that I wrote for the week. So let's go ahead and do it. All right, stand-up comedy. We're still doing that. However, last Tuesday, we had kind of an interesting instance take place. I was at I won't mention their name, but I did a set, like a normal set. And during the set, I was moving the mic stand, and the base fell off of it in like a comical fashion to where I'm putting the pole like in front of an audience. I don't know what to do. Just put it in between my legs like a fake wiener and go, "Ah," and it kind of got a laugh, but I didn't think it was anything too serious. And then I got a message from a manager the next day, and he said, "Hey, I heard you broke one of our mic stands, so you need to replace it before you're allowed back in the building." And I was like, "That's crazy. That it's literally been used by thousands. Could have been, the luck of the draw for anybody to have that happen to. I don't think that's very fair. I'd like to at least contest this." And so he passed that along, and the host of the show said, "Yeah, it was either yeah that sucks, bad luck, or yeah bad luck, that sucks." So I can't afford a new mic stand right now. So do comedy at that club anymore, and it just feels like there are a lot of cards stacked against me to quit. But I just feel like all my favorite comics have these really cool stories of them having to face adversity and have to fight these trials to be able to pursue the thing they love to do. And Lord knows I've got one hell of a story. So just have to hang in there, fight, stay true, stay vigilant. People that have given me advice to say, keep your head down, you're funny, don't worry about these people hating you, to where those people are now hating on me. And I think about the advice they gave me when they hate on me, and it's like, okay, just gotta remember to let it go. And it's very ironic, but, it is a special place for special people. And not everybody gets to play the game. Louis said, you could do it for 20 years and realize it was a really bad idea. I just think I'm a funny guy, and I have the potential, so I have to fight for it, but I also need to make, responsibilities happen. I have a responsibility to meet these ends, to take care of my furry roommates, to pay the rent and the gas bill and the electricity and all that other bull spit. Real spit, real shit. And so I gotta buckle down. And I'm going to give this interview my all tomorrow. I'm excited. It's a new opportunity on the horizon. So just need a chance, and maybe this will pull through, and I'll be able to pull my weight, get some cool stuff going on, maybe upgrade the podcast, like fix my life, stop worrying about the bills so much, so I can focus on creative endeavors of life, because that's the important thing. And just you have to work for it, and it's not easy, especially in this economy that we're facing right now. The government's been shut down for a month and a half, and people are struggling, but it's not impossible. You just have to hang in there, and at least for now, it's not impossible for now. Maybe in 2030 when all this agenda stuff through, but for now, we should be good in theory. In theory, communism works. That's a quote from Homer Simpson. I've been using a long time. So anyway, that stinks. I can't do comedy there for a little bit, but if anybody wants to donate some money for a new mic stand, I guess I can come back. I'm taking it home with me when I'm done. I'm only going to bring it there when I can use it. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about this new gig. I'll tell you more about it next week for sure. I'm gonna go into this tomorrow with an open mind. And all right, let's get into some I got three pretty major subjects that are a little bit heavier and a little bit more political, but I do think these are important that we bring them up. So let's go ahead and get into it. I hear that Canada has now legalized cloned meat, being the very first country in the entire world to do so. So, Canada legalizes cloned meat, which is not good, first of all. That's insane. Yeah, it looks like that's kind of where we're headed. They want you to eat bugs. Okay, so the AI I got was the provided sources indicate Canada is updating its regulations to allow beef and pork from cloned animals to enter the food supply without mandatory labeling or pre-market safety review. That's like a disaster waiting to happen. What the... Yo, what? Alright, hold on. Toronto City News, CA. This seems legit. Hopefully this is a good source. Would you want to know if the foods you were eating came from a cloned animal? New Health Canada regulations set they don't require beef and pork manufacturers to label whether or not their products were from cloned animals. That's insane. After consultations with the general public and stakeholders, Health Canada decided to remove from their novel foods category. That is preposterous. Cloned animals are made through assisted reproductive processes such as artificial insemination. Sometimes the cloned animal's offspring makes it to the meat counter. However, questions have been raised regarding the lack of transparency around the regulation change and whether or not consumers deserve to know where and how the meat they buy is made. Hosea Costain speaks to Sylvain Charlebois, director of the ARG Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie University, to discuss how important accurate food labels are to Canadian consumers and whether or not cloned meat is safe for you. And then like a 21-minute audio thing. So, that is true. Canada's got cloned meat. Start buying from farmers. Start buying from people you know. Boycott the grocery store. Boycott your politicians. Canada, you are fucked. Like, this is not good. Rise up. What are you doing? Yesterday, they had a hockey game. I want to find out more about this so I don't just sound like a bigot or whatever. But this is insane. Canadian national anthem sung in Punjabi. Yep. Canadian. I want like an article. NHL. What the? See. Okay. A lot of people are calling this a historic moment. Like, yeah, it kind of is. Like, you shouldn't sing your national anthem with someone else's language. That's I don't know, man. Would you go to like China and here's your anthem in Brazilian? Like, I have no idea what is this. Continue without disabling. NHL history made a beautiful rendition of "O Canada" in Punjab. The NHL history made so this is the NHL. This is the full on. The NHL made history before Saturday night's Winnipeg Jets game. It would be Winnipeg. Winnipeg Jets against the Colorado Avalanche. The Jets. South Asian Heritage Night at the Canada Life Center, which featured a beautiful rendition of "O Canada" sung in Punjabi, a first for the league. The singers were students from the local Amber Trails School's kindergarten. The grade 8 choir, which is the first school in Manitoba to offer a bilingual English-Punjabi program. I don't really want to. I guess we could watch. I want to see the faces of everybody watching this video. All right. Oh, they. All right. So hold on a second. I didn't. That headline. I thought it was solely in Punjabi. Like they just left alone, didn't do the English one. I still have hesitations making leaps of that faith. You know, was it Bad Thing who's supposed to do the Super Bowl this year said you have 3 months to learn Spanish? Bro, I've been practicing Spanish my whole life. I'm not very good at it, but don't go and insult people and have to learn this language to enjoy the show. Why don't you do your songs in English? Like, I don't even think it's that crazy of a statement. Like, you're the Super Bowl. You're the representation of the American entertainment. You're the American entertainer. Yes, there are a lot of Spanish-speaking people in America. The main language of the country is English. So, like, don't rub it in people's faces. I'm only doing this in Spanish. This is for my people. Like, to segregate it enough. Like, just let us enjoy the show. Like, don't be a dick about it. Anyway, let's go ahead and check this thing out.
Dr. Kieran Paul Corsorore, Burjo Tan, and the Amber Trails Community School Choir.
You know, that announcer was struggling there for a second. He's like, oh, don't fuck this up. I'm just gonna skip ahead. What was that? Wow, okay, this is a very interesting picture right here. We went ahead and freeze framed it a little bit. Okay, so we got all right. We got some some darker folks that are pretty excited, and then got some indifferent whites. These two dudes have been coming to this game a long time, and I don't think they like what they're seeing. I don't really like what's going on around them. That's a very interesting display. I can't imagine, with the fact you can't say anything online. Canada is in a very dystopian place right now. Canada, UK, Australia, I really hope you're all doing all right. And the US is right on the forefront. So it's very interesting to watch this go down. It's, I heard about a term yesterday that I don't remember, but I could, I think it was called something like the Capier plan. And it's essentially the idea that we would overrun Western society with members of different regions that had clashing cultural ideologies, to the point where things clash in such a way that we end up going into a civil war that ends up allowing kind of the doctrine of the overlords to kind of rain down their power, while being able to kind of chill on the sidelines and let the Christians and Muslims fight it out. So that's a very interesting war that could be on the horizon. I mean, you got sections of Canada, of the UK, of Australia that are no-go zones. You can't go in them. The police can't go. You can't go. If you do, God help you. And how is that something that is allowed in this day and age, in this kind of society, to say that you're fleeing from a place because it's awful and war-torn and you're suffering, so you need asylum to come here, or you want to just come here to have a better life? And so we have this way of living that we've had here for almost 250 years. And you're like, well, I don't really like what you're doing here because it doesn't really reflect the way I feel about my God or my life or, my religion. We should make it like it used to be, back in the place where it was bad. I didn't like it, but I had to flee to come here to the place that looked better. I want to make this place that's better like the other place that's not better. Like, how does that work? Look at Iran. Google Iran in 1975, before the Ayatollah took over and introduced the Islamic State. You will never find a woman nowadays walking around that face or her hair or her arms without being stoned to death. Rocks. They throw rocks at people until they die. That happens all the time. Super normal. That's Sharia law. And that's what they're inviting in Canada, into Australia, into the UK, now in New York City. We just elected our very first Muslim mayor of New York City. What's his number? Zoran Mamdani. I was about to say Camille Nanjiani, but he's the guy who's actually pretty funny. Yeah, so Zoran, he's elected. Not even one day later, dude, ran on a campaign of free buses, free healthcare, rent freezes, and then the next day, not even one day, he's like, "Hey guys, remember I said you don't need to send any more. You don't need to send any more money. Well, about that, you can start sending money." And that's kind of the paraphrase, but that's basically what he said, which is insane. So that guy's a goof. Brings us back to our original point of Canada legalizing cloned meat. Well, okay, this is what's going on in Canada. So how soon before New York allows cloned meat? How soon before the FDA is like, yeah, cloned meat's cool. You don't have to tell them about it. The fact to tell them is actually the scariest part, because Think about it. You want to know if this meat came from an animal that was born naturally or is cloned. First of all, we can clone things? Like, that seems to be just open. Like, yeah, we can do that. Clone. Take a thing, we'll just take it and just make it over there. Just make it again. Like, can you clone other stuff? Can you clone people? Don't ask Kanye. What's going on? What's really happening in the world? We're in a simulation, dude, and I don't like it. I didn't even get a good loadout. Like, dude, I got the loadout of like a broke dude. I want to be in the Maldives. I don't even know where that is. I'm not culturally rich enough to know where that is. Okay, well, let's get culturally rich because we're about to hear some dark shit. What's going on in Sudan? From what I heard, more people have died in Sudan in the last 2 weeks. Died in the last 2 years in Gaza. And there are piles of bodies that you can find on Google Images that are so big you can see the blood seeping into the earth from thousands of bodies in a field. And it's terrifying. What's going on over in Sudan? What's going on? What's the dealio? Let's see. Should I listen to the BBC? I'm not really sure I trust the BBC. I'm going to click on nationalnews.com. Thenationalnews.com. What is happening in Sudan? How two generals' pursuit of power threatens to stray. Fighting between al-Burhan's army and Dagalo's RSF has destroyed much of the nation. Sudan's... Oh, this is on November 4th, 2025. Sudan's war was sparked by a fight between two ambitious generals who helped to oust former President Omar al-Bashir in 2019 after a popular uprising, but later fell out over one of the protesters' demands, one nation, one... Now they're split into two. Classic. Now, well into its third year, the conflict has become about the unity of Africa's third largest country and one of its most ethnically and religiously diverse, as well as the fate of the post-independence political and social dominated by an elite from its northern region. Thrown into the mix is whether Islamists loyal to al-Bashir should be allowed to return to the position of power and wealth they enjoyed during the dictator's 29 years in power. Curiously, the two generals whose actions have brought death, hunger, and destruction to the impersonation army chief and de facto leader Gen Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, commander of the powerful paramilitary rapid support forces General Ahmed Dagalo, were previously loosely allied. In April 2019, the army and the RSF together removed al-Bashir from power amid a popular uprising from the dictator's corrupt rule. They again joined forces and staged one coup that toppled a civilian-led government, upending Sudan's democratic transition and plunging the Afro-Arab nation of 50 million into a political and economic crisis. Kind of goes on. Let's find a death toll. Fatalities recorded in Sudan's civil war. Monthly cumulative fatalities. Monthly, it's saying 50,000 right now. From July 2023, it was about 10,000. So, constantly going up. That seems like... I really want to see these pictures. I want to see these satellite images. Satellite images. This might be graphic for some people if you're about to tune in. Okay, here's what we're looking at. Maybe I can get the coordinates. Satellite image coordinates. We'll go all at one. Because that way I just pull it up on Google Maps. And real-time Earth imaging, Sky-Fi satellite library, Hell on Earth, The Economist, Google Earth images, satellite images, Hell on Earth satellite images, document the siege of a Sudanese city. It won't let me read it from The Economist. Ironically, The Economist needs money. Alright, well, let's just look at the image. Satellite imagery indicates ongoing mass killings and violence in Sudan, particularly around El Fasher, with reports of summary executions and ethnic cleansing after the RS seized Darfur. However, a miscaptioned Google Earth image circulating elsewhere did not show bodies, while verified satellite images elsewhere document atrocities in Darfur. The provided sources do not include specific coordinates of events. Yeah, that seems, who paid $45 to Google like a month ago? I don't know. I think it rhymes with anyway, we're gonna look at these. I'm not fucking retarded, like, just, yeah, show me where to go, like, in this thing. Alright. I guess, you know what, I did some video, for sure. I really gotta find this, because this is insane. This is, like, actually fucked up, and we gotta talk about this stuff, where they're killing kids, they're blowing kids up. This is fucked up. I cannot stand by and watch this shit go down. This is awful. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. And I can't believe this is how we, like, allow ourselves to be conducted. We're human beings in 2025. Can you stop dropping bombs and stop being a piece of shit, fucking hurting people that you don't know because they don't like your god or they don't like your fucking Coldplay record. Just stop being a douchebag and stop murdering people. We should be in space. We should be exploring the stars. You fucking lunatic, psychotic pieces of shit in charge. All of you. All of you debaucherous, evil human beings. You Satanist bucks. Murdering children and women and having men sacrifice themselves on the front line to push your agenda. We're fucking sick of it. It's 13 families against the entire world. Piss off too many people. I know you think you're all smart and you're chosen. I could open up the book of Revelations where it refers to you as the synagogue of Satan, as Jews who claimed that they worship the Lord, for they did not. Fuck off. I am sick of Zionist propaganda taking over my life. I am sick of it influencing my politician country and my military and my community and my family. It's unbelievable. We have so many problems. We could take care of all of our stuff if we just stuck to our own business. Stop war in endless wars around the world. Get our veterans off of the street and take care of what needs to be taken care of. Okay? That's where I stand. I feel like I was a very moderately leaning person for a long time, pretty bipartisan, and now I feel forced to find myself in the Republican conservative side of the agenda because the left is fully fucking batshit crazy. You're fucking nuts. All of you. Every one of you guys. You're insane. Just read a history book. Who fought to keep the slaves? You guys. Who ruined the black family by the 3-strike law and implementing a crack cocaine epidemic enforced by the CIA that Gary Webb fully illustrated back in the 70s, and they murdered his ass? Who did that? Oh, it was Democrats. Oh, man. Who owned the slave ships? Just go down the line, man. You're not fighting. You think you're fighting for freedoms, but you're really stripping your own freedoms away, slowly but surely, and not only but from the rest of us, from the rest of the world. It's unbelievable, man. You gotta watch what you're doing. Liberal white women are going to kill this country. It's actually crazy. Voting out of emotion, voting out of logic. Yeah, let's open up the borders. It sounds so nice. I bet they would need them. It sounds so cool to give them a home, somewhere safe to be. But then when they come here, they can live in a hotel rent-free for 2 years. They get free food, free electronics, free clothes. They get to not pay their rent. They get money to go spend. Meanwhile, American citizens are struggling and getting kicked out of their homes and losing their mortgages and losing bill agreements, and they're being forced to live in their car, and they're killing themselves. The suicide rate's going through the roof. I find myself stricken with suicidal ideations all the time. And it's like, for money? That's so fucking bitch made. Like, money. But it's like you can't. They got this reign on it. You can't get access to it anymore. If you're not part of this club, George Carlin said it's a big club. You ain't in it. And it's like, wow. The older you get, the more it really. Fuck, I'm not in the club. Fuck, and it's kind of like a blessing to be amongst the majority faction of society, to be in the 99 versus the know that one day, like, the one have this plan to eliminate most of us, make us all slaves. Go read the Talmud. Just go read it. It's gonna fucking blow your mind. It's illegal for me to even, like, you're not supposed to release that doctrine, but we live in the age of, you can just Google it, just like look it up. It's, the information's right there. So you gotta, there's something in, look, this is gonna get crazy for a second, and I don't really care. I don't give a fuck. I'm not scared. Come get me. So there's something in Islam called taqiyya. It's like Takkiy. That is the practice that somebody who practices Islam is allowed to lie to you in order to procure the necessary outcome for what they desire. So if you're like, is it true that you can beat your wives and marry children? They're like, no, that's a lie. That's not true at all. But it is. It's totally, that's Muhammad married a 6-year-old, consummated when she was 9. That's their prophet. That's their Jesus. So, okay. Yeah, in Islam. Now, in Judaism, the Talmud, you are allowed to deceive Goyim. That's us. We're Goyim. Anybody who's not a Gentile or a Jewish person is a Goyim. And all Jews get 8,000 Goyim slaves. You know, when their Messiah comes back down, when they build the third temple, which is very similar to the weird ballroom that Trump is building on the West. Trump has taken $230 from $230. He took $200 from a server. No, it was $230 million from AIPAC. It's the biggest AIPAC donation in history. Out of any congressman, senator, he got the most money. And it's, okay, well, so you're completely compromised. In 2017, Trump was awarded the Silver Crown of the Torah. You can go read this on the Jerusalem Post. They refer to him in Israel as Cyrus the Great, or the return of the Messiah. Like, a lot of them really see him as the beginning of, like, their end times, which for the rest of us is literally eclipse. So it's like, that's not good. That's not good at all. And I don't really know what to make out of all that, because honestly, I wanted to believe in Trump when he first kind of came around. I know that he was a millionaire politician. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like the idea that somebody came into the political spectrum that didn't have the same kind of, like, traditional, like, oh, I would like to, I oppose what I says, and I'd like to do what I say. And it's like, this guy's fucking ugly. This guy's gay. This guy's got funny shoes. Look at this funny shoe Fred. Just making up nicknames as he went. Shane Gillis obviously killed this whole take on what I'm saying. He did do that. He came in swinging. And you're like, that's fucking crazy. And maybe it was just the idea America's built on this, like, foundation of entertainment. We love entertainers. We love celebrities. We love worshiping them. Maybe it was like seeing this kind of like dude, the guy who was the, like, he had The Apprentice as the president. That's so crazy. It's crazy. And he did do a lot of really good things in his first term. Like, first president to not start a new war against, like, I was like, wow, that's awesome. And then 2020 happened, and you had that weird kind of, like, overnight vote thing with Biden where it just kind of like bop, and the polls were covered. Like, there was a lot of weird shit that went into that election. And then right when the election was at its peak, you had January 6th. That took all the attention away from the election, turned it on an insurrection, which recently was revealed to have over 250 planted FBI agents in the crowd saying, let's go to the Capitol, let's invade, let's go inside and do whatever. It was an incited insurrection by its own party that they still use to this day as fuel to be like, well, remember when they did this? It was like, yeah, but it's your fucking idea. There's a lot of people making videos that day that call out all those people as feds. It's like, you know, just kind of the way that the cards fell. That girl, Ashley Babbitt, lived right here in Ocean Beach. I heard my own neighbors talk about the fact that they think it was good that she got shot in the head. Well, she broke into a government building. I was like, yeah, but they have mace and handcuffs and batons and like a million other things they could do to you before they shoot you in the fucking neck. And then like that happened. No one cared about her. George Floyd gets his fucking net on, even though he was dying of a fentanyl overdose after using a fake 20 and chose to lay on the ground. That whole thing was misconstrued so far out of pocket. It's like criminally fucked up. And what happened then? We burned cities. We burned down fucking government things. We were pissed off. And a lot of this media rhetoric got built up. We're stuck in this age of COVID. They threw us into this fucking box and we lost our minds. It was the biggest experiment of all time. Easy. And we were the guinea pigs. We survived. And I never got a vaccine. I faced a lot of ridicule through a lot of weird accusations. A lot of people told me, yo, you can't come hang out with us. Come in this restaurant. You can't work here. You can't continue to work here if you don't get a vaccine. And it was like, well, I'm not doing it. So, sorry. And now it's like vaccine deaths are through the fucking roof, dude. It's killed. More people have died from the vaccine than of all the wars that we've ever been in as a country. That's crazy. And those numbers will only grow. But do you remember when they forced it on you? They were like, was it Jimmy Kimmel who said, you know, if you go to the hospital and you have a heart attack, you got no vaccine, or you got your vaccination, yeah, come on in, buddy, no worries. You don't have a vaccine? Rest in peace, Wheezy. And then they're like, he got canceled. I can't believe it. It was like, try being funny and not a cynical piece of fucking shit, dude. Fuck you. Like, almost sucks. Fallon's barely there. They're all just like puppets. Little like mouthpieces for the corporate machine to spew its agenda. Like, it's so gross. Ugh. I don't even know if I want to be a guest on that show. Like, why are you talking about Sudan? And talk about the fact that millions of people are being fucking murdered right now. Like, that seems like a prevalent issue. Like Stephen Colbert, he's a coward. He sold out years ago. When I was a teenager, I read his book. I thought he was funny. I thought he was cool. And now growing up, every time we turn it on, it was like, can you believe this? They were so far up Trump's butt, they must have inhaled his tonsils. Like, that's what I heard last night. It was like, do you have anything else besides shitting on this guy? Aren't you supposed to be a comedian? Where's the funny part? Everything pushed by that, like John Oliver, Trevor Noah, all these people that like Jon Stewart. His real name is Jonathan Stewart Leibowitz. I know that. I didn't know that. I had no idea. Now I do. Like, that's crazy. Guess what religion he is. Okay, last little like serious thing. The digital ID is the agenda being pushed pretty much all over in certain Western hemispheres right now. Like, we have the Chinese social credit score system that's fully implemented in China. It's introduced their version of the digital ID that's receiving a lot of compliance from the citizens, which is great, but it's definitely like we're in a crucial stage right now. It's just some V for Vendetta shit. And I read that the digital ID was silently added onto Apple Wallet. Digital ID added onto Apple Wallet. Okay, so you got stuff from like Apple's digital ID lets you add your passport to the Wallet app. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna read the Apple one, and then I'm going to read something that's kind of like, hey, maybe this isn't good. Apple, so I'm gonna put skeptic. Apple ID-cism. Not okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Okay, I got an article from People, and then I got an article from Apple. Okay. This is from the newsroom of Apple, November 12th, 2025. This is yesterday. Apple introduces digital ID, a new way to create and present an ID in Apple Wallet. Digital ID offers a secure private way for users to create an ID in the Apple Wallet using information from their U.S. passport and present their ID iPhone or Apple Watch. So I guess it's in your phone too. Wow. That's crazy, dude. Okay, well that's terrifying. This is basically the mark of the beast. We're on our way. It's being like really slow right now. I can't. Apple today announced the launch of Digital ID, a new way for users to create an ID in Apple Wallet using information from their U.S. passport and present it with the security and privacy of iPhone or Apple Watch. At launch, Digital ID will roll out first in beta at TSA checkpoints at more than 250 airports in the U.S. for in-person identity verification during domestic travel, with additional Digital ID acceptance use cases to come in the future. The launch follows the capability for users to add an eligible driver's license and state ID. If users do not have a U.S. passport, they can still add their license. Wow. Okay, so dystopian as fuck. That is actually terrifying. Let's see what people.com has to say about it. Apple just announced major changes to iPhone with digital. Okay, let's try not the accent. Announced major changes to iPhone's digital wallet feature, but not everyone is happy about it. This is also yesterday. Need to know. On Wednesday, November 12th, Apple announced the launch of Digital ID. Announcement have been mixed. Thank you for that great summary. According to a press release from the company, Digital ID will allow users to create an ID in Apple Wallet using information from the U.S. passport. Once set up, users can securely present them along using the privacy features built in the iPhone and Apple Watch. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go down. My computer is frozen solid. Maybe the fact I have 98 tabs has something to do with it. The world may never know. Can I just scroll, please? Come on. This is not twice the speed of the internet. Sorry, this is just taking a little bit to get through. Oh my gosh, this is annoying. Okay. Following the announcement, social media lit up with reactions ranging from excitement to skepticism. One Instagram account said, "Sucks to be one of those losers who went to the DMV to get a real ID." Others chimed in, "POV, you're locked out of your entire existence because you forget your iCloud password." That's crazy. You should be able to vote on your phone. The company also noted that it cannot see when or where users present their ID or what specific data is shared. Biometric authentication through Face ID or Touch ID ensures only the owner of the digital ID can access or accept it. Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, right. I know for a fact they're on all the time. The article has one comment. "This sounds like a security nightmare and a spy tool waiting to happen." Yeah, I mean, think about how many hacks have happened into like the Apple community or the Samsung community or whatever. Like, all it would take is one to get into like that section, and they would get all the personal, valuable travel information of every single person using the app. And if you make it a mandated experience, that single fucking person in your entire citizenry, every citizen of your country will be affected by this. It's a stupid idea. Everyone go back to cash. Stop using credit cards. This is insane. Let's just bring back gold coins with ridges on them so they can't be clipped. Anyway, that is pretty much it for my world news of the week. Now we're going to go get into our movies with an easy transition from what we've been talking about. I want you guys to go and watch a movie called Europa, The Last Battle. You can go to europathelastbattle.net to watch it, or just Google Europa. It's like Europe, but with an A at the end, which is how they would say Europe in Europe. And europathelastbattle.net. Please watch that. And just know you're going to learn a lot of things that you can't unlearn. This is the equivalent of taking the red pill. So have fun, Godspeed, press on. And other movies we saw. I rewatched Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. And it's awesome. It's It's awesome. It's amazing. Jim Carrey just has this amazing way of bringing out a very special side of himself that just is translated so well to the world. And you know what's crazy is Jim Carrey went on that interview and he brought up the Illuminati and he brought up a whole bunch of things, like, you know, the people that are in charge running everything. And like a few months later, his wife died, and he hasn't done that since. And then he went all crazy, meditative and guru crazy, and I don't know what that dude's up to. Like, we all could be living in the Truman Show. I really don't know. Anyway, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. If you haven't seen it, you are living under a rock. So please go watch the movie. I got it. I don't know if I can go 10 out of 10, but damn, I'm gonna go 9.9. Fuck it, 10 out of 10. Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. 10 out of 10. Marked it right here. Seabass Film Score. 5 stars. 10 out of 10. Anyway, then we started When Nature Calls, and I fell asleep. So I have to rewatch the plot line before I fully give my take on it. However, that intro scene with the monkey who dies, like the cliffhanger intro, that is a very well done piece of cinema. I also noticed the first 5 minutes before I fell asleep, they made him do all his famous catchphrases from the first movie, which seems kind of hacky, like to start it off. You're like, oh, right. And then like 3 more of those. So I'll finish it. I really want to watch him go out of the elephant's butt again, because that shit is hilarious. Yes. No pun intended. It's amazing. That's one of the funniest things ever filmed. Anyway, we rewatched The Goonies. Damn, The Goonies has a stacked cast. Sean Astin and his inhaler that somehow makes it through the whole movie. He's been through 3 different piles of water. Down like water slide. You still got your inhaler. Insane. Not filled with water. Anyway, moving on. Basically a perfect putting it. Crazy to see the fact that like a bunch of this cast grew up to be stars. And they really got to like show their stuff. I mean, dude, the guy who plays was the dude in is it Everything Everywhere All at Once? Or he had some big breakout role recently. It's like, dude, that was Short Round. 40, and then he blew up as like this older Asian dude. And he's funny and he's nice, and it's like he won a fucking Oscar, dude. Ki Hu Wang, I think. Dude, damn, that's fucking awesome. I love that. Go you, bro. Go you. Chase your dreams. Live that shit. I love it. I love it. I startled my dog, but I'm proud of him. Good for you, bro. And it's just, I love the Goonies. Amazing. The Berticellis. Amazing. Like when Chunk is doing his little speech. In the 5th grade, that whole thing goes into this deep tangent of all mistakes he's made over the years, and it's so funny. It's to die for. So 10 out of 10 on the Goonies too. Very rare film review day. We got 2 10s. Again, that's Pet Detective and the Goonies. Obviously 2 of the greatest movies ever. Check them out. What was crazy is that night, like after I watched it, I had this dream where I was like making out with this girl, but she had like, I didn't know in my dream when I woke up, she had like sloth face. Like she was cute. One of her eyes was like down here and kind of sideways. And I was like, no, you're beautiful. It's a weird dream, but that totally happened. Probably didn't need to mention that, but we did. Now it's forever. Anyway, moving on. Next movie was Palm Springs. This was one of those movies where you watch it and halfway through the movie you're like, oh, I've watched this. But you know, I don't think I ever made it to the end because I liked it and I liked it a lot. Kind of cool. I like Andy Samberg, despite the first half of this podcast. I really do like that guy. He's funny. Lonely Island is hilarious. It's a great. I mean, I know all their songs by heart, 100%. So, fan. And the movie's great because it takes a cool little kind of take on the whole time loop scenario. It's like Groundhog Day, but in a different kind of setting where it's not like a sad, cold day in Boston. It's like a nice, warm day in Palm Springs. And you just wake up and, you know, like the thing's the same every day. So you can go to the wedding every day. Like, you know, Andy's kind of like decided to do. He's sort of stuck in this lifestyle. But this girl he brings in kind of changes the whole reality of what he understands his perspective to be in that world. And then, you know, it reminded me of I don't want to give away the ending, but it reminded me of Twilight Zone, which has a different ending, to be fair. In the end of this Twilight Zone back in the day, it's like a black and white one. It's this like group of people that get they're traveling through space, and they land on this asteroid that they break down, and they're stuck on the asteroid. So one guy who's kind of like a loser back on Earth, he kind of claims the role of power on the asteroid, and he convinces everybody that he's their leader. So everyone looks at him as their leader. And then one day, humans show up with a spaceship, and they're like, "Hey, we're here to save you guys." And everyone's like, "Oh, thank God, I'm so ready to go home." And the guy's like, "Wait, no, you gotta stay. I'm your leader. You should be here with me." And they're like, "We gotta go, bro. Like, we're the last ship that's ever gonna come ever. If you don't get on this ship now, you're gonna die on this rock." And he's like, "Well, fine. I'll die here because I'm the king of the rock." And then the ship takes off, and the guy starts thinking about grass. He starts thinking about dogs and like his wife. And he's like, "Wait, take me with you!" But the ship's gone, and there's no back. So it's like the ending faces this crucible moment where a decision like that has to be made, and I'm not going to say what happens. And the second part of the ending, which I liked even more because it full closed on some stuff from earlier in the movie, where I was like, "Are they going to forget about this guy?" But they didn't forget about him, and they finished it, and I was like, "Hell yeah!" So you know what? I wrote 8, but I'm going to change that. 9 out of 10 for Palm Springs. Liked it. Good cast. Good selection. Very interesting storyline. The fact you can learn more about it. It's the same day over and over, but it slowly reveals information as you go. That is very, very cool. And that played out. So go check it out. That's my movie reviews for the week. We had a lot of things go on today in this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. More stuff to come on episode 109. Happy early Thanksgiving. My birthday is in less than 2 weeks. If you would like to help support the podcast, please click on the link in the description. And there are several links, actually. You can click any one of them that you like. If you would also be so kind and dandy, you can hit the like button on YouTube or send it through Opus Pro and make some clips and then share it and then tag me in those. Or you got Instagram and TikTok. You can film it with your phone and send it with it to your grandma. You can do anything. You can do anything you want. It's your life. Live your life and do your best fun. God bless you. And thanks for tuning into the Galactic Seabass Podcast, episode 108, with your host, Sebastian Fowler, a.k.a. Seabass, a.k.a. me. So thanks for being here today. I appreciate you very much. Rock and roll. Best all your endeavors, my friends. I appreciate you tuning in. Stay vigilant, stay awake, stay true, stay free. God bless you. I'm Seabass. Rock and roll. Thanks for your support. I will see you again next time. Go check out my other YouTube videos. Stand-up comedy here and go. Check out my Instagram at Seabass Jokes. I got plenty of videos here, so just check them out. BMX across America, 9 hours of BMX from San Diego to New York City. I got a playlist on my channel. Check it out. It'll be right here. I love you very much. God bless you. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Have a great day. What time it is? Make the most of it. Give your loved ones a hug and tell them that you love them. And appreciate your moments. I guess that'll do it. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm Sebastian, and this was a podcast. Again, I mean it. Best of luck in all your endeavors. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. This was episode 108. I will catch you again next time, and rock and roll. With that being said, end transmission. I really didn't go as planned. Alright. Cool. For real this time. Good night.